Guys, take me west just a little bit because we had so many problems with I-75 in Kentucky just getting opened and those thousands of people stranded. And you look back into Arkansas and you picked up the big snowfall totals in Memphis. How's the western line of this storm doing? Is it tightening in as well? Are we clearing out some of those communities?
Well, Sam, we've actually got a radar loop for the last 24 hours, and you can see there is still some lingering snow there, but the bulk of the storm is now all north and east.
Much of it is transferred from, West Virginia on the spine of the Appalachians out to the east now. So still going to be some big issues, especially across southern PA, where they've already had, multiple car accidents, and they've had a lot of people stranded on the roadways. So, but as you go further west, that's beginning to break up because all of this energy is transferred out to the Atlantic.
We want to go now to NBC's Jacob Rascone in Philadelphia. And Jacob, I know we've had some winds gusting to 40 miles per hour there in the last hour. Is it still as windy as that from your perspective?
Yeah, we've been able to feel it. Right now, 20 mile an hour wind gusts are coming, but they've been coming at 40, 50 miles an hour. The affiliate even clocked one at 60, 70 miles an hour, and they have reporters all over the Philadelphia area tracking that. Behind me is the Delaware River, but it looks more like a choppy sea. And as well, we could tell you that we just went out and drove around the roads to see who was on them, and there aren't very many people, of course. They're heeding the warnings. It was just us and a random gentleman who was walking in the middle of the road. And it looks on some of the main roads as if no plows have been there. We know that's not true. It's just that the snow keeps coming down. They're having a hard time keeping up. They said that they may not even make it to the residential areas at all today, which means that every neighborhood around Philadelphia, all of the snow, all of the 2 feet or whatever they end up getting, is just going to be there until tomorrow when the plows from the city can finally get there. And there we go. There's another wind gust. So it comes and goes. And, of course, the snow is not expected to stop here for another 10 hours or so.
And how much snow do you think you've got on the ground right now?
I mean, I've measured out where we've been standing 2 feet, but that's partly because of the wind that's pushing it. This morning, city officials measured 17.1 inches. That was at 9 a.m., and that's pretty astonishing considering that yesterday we were thinking that Philadelphia would get 18 inches total, and yet they're measuring about that 12 hours before the storm even ends. So we're looking at a total around 2 feet. At least the city thinks that.
Yeah, that's what we were predicting, somewhere in the range of 22, 24 inches. But I'll tell you right now, Jacob, your winds are going to gust like that for several hours yet. You may get a little break in the snowfall. There's a little bit of dry air that is beginning to work its way in, something we refer to as the dry slot now. But that may be temporary because I think that'll fill in and we'll still get some more snow through the afternoon.
A lot of times the dynamics will actually overcome that dryness, so you see it punching in and then it fills in after that.
And I think that's what we're going to have there. So we're going to continue to see that in Philly. It's going to be several hours yet.
All right, Jacob, thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate that. And let's talk about what's going to be happening going forward. We want to look at the model forecast because we haven't really done that in a while, and just talk about how this is going to progress because it really is an incredibly long-lasting event. That's a big part of the story in this case.
Hey, it's just been a perfect setup for a storm. Take a look at the precipitation shield. Now, if this storm would have been a little further out to sea, all of that would have been out here in the ocean. We would have missed completely, but it has actually picked up the entire Metroplex area here with double-digit snowfalls and strong winds. So if we take this forward, Carl, we'll move this, see if we get that going there. There we go. As we go into the latter part of the afternoon, we're still locked in here on the northwest side of the storm with the snowfall. And then we'll move it as we get into the evening hours here. I'll go ahead and move that one. Mine is not. There we go. As we get into about 9, 10 o'clock tonight, you see the system is finally beginning to lose its impact out to the west here, but right along coastal areas, we are still getting wind and snow right in through 10 o'clock tonight.
All right, Governor Cuomo in New York is speaking right now at a press conference. Let's go live to that.
Off the Hudson, but it is most likely a problem on Long Island. And it's a problem that we've gone through before with Superstorm Sandy, with a lot of pain, a lot of hardship, a lot of loss, a lot of tears, and a lot of aggravation. So that is our primary concern now. This morning the high tide was basically okay, some minor flooding. But as you heard from the county executives, there's a tide tonight that we are concerned about, and we're organizing and we're prioritizing all our resources to be responsive to that. We have the National Guard that is on the ground. Nassau and Suffolk County has done an extraordinary job of organizing their resources. We have state police, so everything that can be done in terms of equipment, boats, high axle vehicles, etc., is in place. And rest assured that unfortunately we've had too much experience responding to these circumstances, but we're poised and we'll prepare for the worst and we'll hope for the best. I also want to thank all my colleagues for their cooperation. As County Executive Bellone said, this only works if we all work together, because in a situation like this, there is no Nassau County or Suffolk County or Manhattan or Queens. It's just one area that is affected by a storm. And the coordination has been extraordinary. And I want to thank County Executive Bellone and County Executive Mangano. I want to thank New York City Mayor de Blasio, who we've had numerous conversations all through the situation. And I want to thank Governor Chris Christie. It was my request that he close, the Port Authority close the bridges and tunnels coming from New Jersey to downstate New York. And I want to thank the Port Authority and the governor in particular for their cooperation. And all the men and women who are out there today, thousands and thousands of public servants who are doing extraordinary work under difficult circumstances. You don't see them, but they're driving the trucks and they're driving the trains and they're part of the DPW crews, and they left their family and they left their homes to come out and serve the public. And it really is inspirational and it's extraordinary. And we thank each and every one of them and we want them to be safe. With that, any questions for myself, the county executives, or the MTA officials?
Governor, in terms of economic damage of the storm, in terms of what the state's going to be seeing in the lost business, I know it's falling on the weekend, but what are your concerns right now with that thing in terms of lost business and other expenses?
You know, luckily, you're right, it did fall on a weekend. It's a Saturday, probably a Saturday and a Sunday for the storm itself. We'll see what Monday brings. We're doing our best to get back to work on Monday. The economic damage will be nothing like what we went through in the past. Superstorm Sandy was horrendous. This is a fraction of that in terms of economics, and we hope in terms of public safety it's the same. There will be a cost to the state and to the local governments for the response, the crews that are out there, the overtime that people will have to work. But in the scope of things, that is not a major issue in this circumstance, luckily. Well, first, you know, we've had the roads open during the day. But we've said all along, unless it is truly an emergency, you should not be on the road. And I know New Yorkers, you know, we're tough and we think that we can handle anything and we have a four-wheel drive vehicle, which means we can go up the side of a mountain. I get it. I am not a hyper-cautious person. But the roads were truly, truly dangerous. Now, to be on a banned road, you can be summoned for being on the road when a ban is in place. And it can be points on your license and a significant fine. So what we're saying is stay off the road officially. The travel is now banned, and the reason we're doing that is to protect people. Remember, we've had bad experiences in the past where people were stuck on the Long Island Expressway for a very long period of time. And we said, well, how did that happen? Because people went out on the road when they shouldn't have. And that's what this ban will prevent. It will also allow the crews to do their job. Because what happens is one car gets stuck, and now you have pandemonium. One car gets stuck, it backs up traffic, now you have dozens of stranded cars, people in those stranded cars, the plows can't get through, and everything stops. Let the plows do their work, stay off the road, avoid a ticket, avoid paying a fine, honor the travel ban that starts this afternoon.